Okay, so welcome to our Happy Jurist Bar Prep Mindset and Mental Toughness free training. So we put these free trainings on YouTube because we are invested in you kicking the bar's ass and becoming a kick-ass professional. And we think this is a great medium for us to kind of really shore up some of the skills that not only help you pass the bar exam with confidence and calm, but they also make you a great lawyer. So mindset and mental toughness really, really matter, not only in passing the bar, but also becoming a great lawyer. Law is a really stressful profession, and we know that you can conquer the bar, and the strength and the talents and all the habits that you form during your bar prep really matter in how you practice as a lawyer. So our concept today is something that I'm sure you've heard about before from other folks, but fear is a liar. And so when I first heard this, and I'm very into self-help, so I didn't really get it, because it seems to me that fears like fear of being judged make perfect sense, right? Because we are herd animals and we need other people to survive. And if we're out in the world totally as a loner, we're totally screwed. But really, as I have, passed the bar exam and 3 times and whatever, and become a professional and kind of exist in the grown-up world, it seems to me that fear is a liar mostly kind of on the second level. It's not necessarily the base fear, like the first thing that causes us to have a little friction when we're about to go do something scary, right? Like we might die or we might suffer some sort of colossal social failure, right? Some emotional pain. But it's what happens next that is the lie, right? And I'll give you an example. So when it comes to, the fear of being judged, or the fear of having to really, do something really hard where you might fail. So, when we think about what our brain tells us and what our brain does, and we're like, oh my gosh, this might be hard, I might fail. If I fail, oh my God, everybody's gonna know this is gonna be awful, right? I took my first bar and then passed my first bar in a state called Colorado, and in Colorado, they publish a list of people that pass. So everybody knows if you passed or failed, right? If they knew you were taking the bar. So the reason why this matters is because when you start a hard task, like for me, especially my first time taking the bar, when I would open up my to-do items, I felt a huge friction in doing my bar prep items, and I started tons of them and never finished them because I would get so stressed out about the ultimate scary thing, which was taking the bar and passing or failing, that I either didn't start my to-do tasks or I didn't finish them because I would find anything else to go do, right? Doing my laundry, making note cards I would never review, right? Putting tabs on my outline that I was never going to read, right? And so when we think about fear being a liar, I want you to think about it not just in like, what is my overall fear? Fear of failure, fear of being judged, but what are the little fear statements that I give myself when I procrastinate, right? Or when I decide I'd rather do something else than do the prep, or I'd rather do something else than start the assignment that I know I should start. Because a lot of the lies that we tell ourselves are actually kind of hurtful, like things you wouldn't say, for example, to a young child or to your best friend, right? You certainly wouldn't say like, oh my gosh, like this is hard and you can't possibly do it. Or, oh my gosh, you're a failure. Or, oh my gosh, everyone else is smarter than you. Or I bet everyone else is doing more than you and you should feel guilty about this, right? But to protect ourselves from the ultimate scary event, right? Fear often tells us lots of little lies to just prevent us from starting. And the worst part of it is, the part of it that hurts me so much when I see people struggle with taking the bar exam, is that if fear keeps you from starting and it keeps you from finishing your tasks because it can convince you that being distracted and going to do something else is better than doing the hard thing and risking the failure by sitting down and trying hard at the work and maybe failing a practice exam or totally biffing it on an essay but learning something, fear will make itself true, right? It will validate itself if it can get you not to start. So I beg you to really identify not only what your fear is, right? All of us fear not passing the bar. That's like a thing, right? I know exactly how it feels. I failed my first bar. It's fine. You're going to live, right? And you can pass it many times over after that. Not a big deal. You still become a lawyer. Not a problem, right? You can do this. But if you allow the little lies that you tell yourself after that big fear gives you some friction, gives you some pushback, your fears will validate themselves by making it impossible for you to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. Fear is a liar, and it validates its lies by preventing you from doing the things that you so badly want to do and accomplish, right? I know you can pass the bar. I know you're smart. I know you're capable. I know you can do it. Anyone can pass the bar. I'm certain of it, right? So if you're taking one of our courses, you already know, I always close with 3 things. So I will also close with 3 things here, right? You're going to kick ass. You're going to be happy. You're going to pass the goddamn bar exam, right? But you've really got to look your fear in the face and decide if you want to let it make itself true. right? Because you don't have to buy into the little frictions and the little lies that fear wants to tell you about why you shouldn't start and why you should go do something that's easier and why you shouldn't sit down and do your work, right? Fear is a liar, and maybe not in the big lie, right? The fear of being judged, that seems super legit. But the little lies that it tells you to convince you not to begin and not to finish are totally crap, right? And it's just fear trying to validate the scary, awful thing, right? You got this and you can pass the bar. I know you can.